as a students of public policy, you must know that resource extraction was a major theme in policy making in British India. Not only in British India, but all of the colonizers around the world, they have focused in a major way in extracting resources from the colonized societies. There are many social scientists, scholars, politicians, and philosophers and nationalists who claim that the poverty and deprivation in the world is because of colonial resource extraction. Because most of the societies before colonialism were in a good shape. Indian society was definitely in a good shape, and similarly, societies in Latin America and Africa were in a good shape before colonialism actually dominated them. There were two major land tax systems in colonial India. First was Zimindari land tax system, which was introduced by Philip Francis and Lord Cornwallis, and second was Ryotwari, that was introduced by Thomas Munro. And if we look at the two stages of mercantilism in India, the first phase of mercantilism was between 757 to 1813. During this phase, the East India Company has been exporting Indian goods bought with Indian revenues, and they have been exporting these goods to primarily to the UK and then to other European countries, and they have been using revenues generated from the peasants and other people in India. During the second phase of mercantilism, which is from 1813 to 1858, India was turned into a market of British goods. And this is how India first resources were extracted, and Indian goods were sent to the British markets and other markets in European countries, and then the British goods were introduced to the Indian markets, and this is how India entered into the second phase of mercantilism. If we look at the third phase of mercantilism, which is from 1858 to 1947, British capital actually controlled Indian banks, foreign trading firms, and managing agencies. This During this phase, the control of British government was strengthened on Indian capital. So, in the first place, the resources were extracted and they were exported to the United Kingdom and other European countries, and then the British products and other products were sold into Indian markets, and then the British capital actually started controlling Indian banks and foreign trading firms and managing agencies. So this way, a lot of resources were actually extracted from India, and they were taken into UK and were used for the development of the United Kingdom. So resource extraction has been really very successful, and it has really delivered as an instrument of British policy making in India. If we compare resource extraction, its principles and its strategies with other public policies such as education policy, health policy, policing policy, development policy, all of these policies did not deliver on their promise, because as we know, the budgetary allocations to those policies were very low. But the resource extraction policy was highly successful because it was implemented in a rigorous way in India.